And what did you study there?
Women.
Really?
No, I was going to study engineering, but I had a very bad instructor. She had a fit on GIs.
Uh-oh.
She was going with some soldier, and he gave her a hard time and dumped her. She hated all soldiers.
So she took it out on everyone.
Oh, she sure did. We were taking accounting, and I don't know if you ever took accounting.
I actually haven't, because I'm more in the humanities.
One accounting problem could last you a week to solve because you're working with figures. You got layouts of bank accounts, bills, things like that, and you got to sort them out. These are bills, these are income, this is outgo, this is expenses, this is medical, and then you have to make up these like you're doing taxes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, one problem can take you days, really.
Mm-hmm.
So what she did was, she would give it to them and say, okay, now we're going to take problems 1 and 2 for homework, except, and she would name a few guys, and one of them, the XGIs. You guys you gentlemen will do all the program, all of that. Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh
she was a real witch.
Seems
and I said
like
that with a W.
That's funny.
A master of everything, but I'm not an expert of one. No, I studied. I took many things. Most of my studying has been on my own. Mm. My biggest hobby, astronomy.
Wow.
That's my biggest hobby.
Wow.
And I learned that on my own. I took the mathematic courses you had to know because you're dealing with something up in the heavens where there's actually no beginning or end, no basis.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out how far away that is. I mean, how do you figure all this? You got to know these things.
Yeah.
How do I know the sun is 93 million miles away?
Yeah.
Who went there and came back?
You got to figure all these.
Do the crossword puzzle in here, I think.
Yeah. I'm really self-educated.
Okay. A little town in Pennsylvania near Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And this was an intelligence center. Remember I said he was in the intelligence.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after the war, did life just go back to how it was before World War II? Was it better? Was it different?
Well, I'll tell you first about when he finally went overseas. Then I thought, what am I going to do? Here I'm married now, and do I get an apartment and by myself? But I decided to go back with my parents, and I lived there and paid them some money for board and room. I got a job at the Union Pacific because this was in Omaha, Nebraska, where I lived.
Okay.
And I got a job with them.
Wow.
And I worked there until he came back. Then, when he came back, I did get an apartment, and we lived there for a while.
Yeah. Probably better to live with your parents than alone like that. It might have been strange.
Yeah, it would have been strange, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I could save a little money this way.
Right.
And we had little money when he came back,
Yeah, that was very smart on your part.
Then, my husband, when he was in Cincinnati, received a lot of college credits because he went to school there.
Oh, yeah.
And they gave him, actual college credits.
Wow.
So he had not quite finished his college, so he went back one semester and finished.
Oh, wow. Good for him. And then after his time in the war and being a soldier, and what did he do post World War II?
What did he do, or did I do?
Or, yeah, I guess both of you.
he came back, and it was all the soldiers were coming back, so not only was housing difficult, but getting a job was difficult.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And so he searched around. He had now a degree in business administration.
Okay.
So he searched around and got a job in Chicago, and that's how we ended up in Illinois.
Yeah, you're still here.
And in the meantime, I got pregnant. So when we moved to Chicago, I didn't have a job.
Yeah,
I was about 5 or 6 months pregnant, and
expecting and
in those days, no one would take you when you're pregnant anyway.
right.
And so we looked for a place to live, and that was fun. Looked around,
Wow.
and lived in several places.
So you've been in Chicago ever since.
Yeah. We were in Indiana for a little while,
Okay.
but we came back again.
Yeah, this area. Wow. And then I always wonder, when you were living here during World War II, were there news broadcasts, or did they tell you what it was like over in Europe, like what was going on in Germany, or just maybe
They told you more news about the war, but not so much news about the concentration camps or prisoners' camps, or
none of that
we didn't
was
hear
really.
so
You
much
never
about
heard
that.
any of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know how long it was till you started hearing about those kinds of things, or was it mainly just in school years later?
Well, I'm trying to think when I started learning about that. I think mainly when my husband came home, he told me different things that about concentration camps.
Oh, so the soldiers they had seen some of this.
Yes. Now, my husband didn't directly, but he had some friends soldier friends who told him about that.
Wow.
And they had seen, I don't know, it was Dachau, it was one of those kind of concentration.
I think I got a little cancer there.
Oh.
I remember definitely that I was in Great Lakes training station on December 21st of 1941. It was Pearl Harbor Day. And that was our graduation day.
Oh, wow.
So it's an outstanding day in my lifetime.
Yeah. So that was your graduation day.
Graduation day from the Navy was what they called basic training.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from there I went into a teaching job after some liberty at Navy Pier.
Oh.
And I was stationed there teaching internal combustion engines.
Oh.
And it was quite an experience because I was not a mechanic, had no experience in mechanics,
Wow.
but being that I was able to adapt easily to the schooling, I ended up being an instructor and was there for approximately 2.5 years teaching internal combustion engines, aircraft. And it was an interesting school because they had 2 other phases at the time. And the other phase was, one of them was diesel engines for submarines.
Okay.
So they had a school there that taught diesel engines for submarines, and they also had another school that had to do